Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. You got me. It's Kim Commando Today, and I'm here with you, just the facts and tips you need to thrive in our digital world. Or, as I like to say, to live the best digital life ever. You know, I always like to start with something interesting, and let's talk about Peloton. They have over 6.2 million members worldwide. Okay, it was huge. It was perhaps the hottest name in online fitness during the pandemic. And of course, they have exercise bikes, treadmills, lots of really good-looking, really fit instructors. And as I mentioned, it was a star of the pandemic. I mean, I have to agree. I was on my Peloton almost every single day. Well, its shares were up 440% in 2020. Then they took a dump in 2021. So it was once $171 per share. Now it's around $10 a share. Wow. Let me tell you, rumor is that the CEO is about to quit. And when stopped and asked about it with reporters, he said he was ready to move on, do something more meaningful. He was tired of peddling exercise bikes. Yeah, I heard you laugh. I saw that. And yes, of course, it's called The Kim Commando Show. It's the nation's most trusted source about all things digital. I am, of course, America's beloved digital goddess, and we are, of course, the most trusted source and the biggest show. You can find us on over 425 top radio stations throughout the United States. And, of course, we're streaming in your favorite radio app, and we're streaming on demand 24/7 as a podcast, as a webcast, commercial-free over at getkim.com. And a special thank you goes out to all of our listeners on the American Forces Network Radio, serving more than 375,000 American servicemen and women in 175 countries. And I just love this. 200 ships at sea. Get the Kim Commando Show. And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. All right, let's start with 5 things you need to know about tech. It's happening right now. We're going to start with number 1. How much big tech companies make per minute? Now, if you thought that these companies were already raking it in, prepare to be shocked how much Amazon, Google, and Facebook, they make every single minute of every single day. Okay, just since I started talking about this, Amazon has made about $200,000 in revenue. Wow. They make about $836,000 every single minute. Okay, Apple is a close second, bringing in about $700,000. Remember, this is every 60 seconds, day and night. Now, Alphabet is Google's parent company, and they make around $420,000 every minute, and that's followed by Microsoft, $320,000 every single minute. Next, there's Facebook, makes around $200,000 a minute, and rounding up the top 7 is Tesla, about $80,000 every minute. Netflix, about $50,000 every minute. So if you wonder why these tech companies have so much power, the money train just keeps going along and chugging along at this unbelievable steam. All right, number 2 on our list, that job offer might be too good to take. What? As you know, cryptocurrency took a dump over the last few months, and all of these cryptocurrency millionaires and billionaires, they lost a ton of money. And when you say money, what's the next word that comes to mind? No, it's not Amber Heard. That's right, because if you had $5 every time Amber Heard lied in the Johnny Depp trials, you'd be able to pay off your house. I am talking about scammers. Specifically crypto scammers. They're hanging out on the job sites saying, hey, wow, look at all your career accomplishments. I bet you're a really smart investor. How'd you make some big money in crypto? So first they tell you to go to an actual cryptocurrency investment platform. You throw down some money because you have to be in the game to win the game, right? So you chit chat with this guy or gal a few times over a few months. That's right, a few months. And then they tell you, wow, that platform, I heard it's going under, and I just, I'm your friend, and I'm here to help you. And I think you need to move all your cryptocurrency to this new platform. And it's a site owned by the scammer. So you transfer all your money over, and then poof, it's gone. All your money's gone. And guess what? So is your new friend. That's right. So be smart. Only connect with people who you know and trust, especially when a cryptocurrency, because remember, the first 3 letters in crypto, it spells cry. All right, number 3, Inventing Anna is inventing NFTs. Have you seen that series, Inventing Anna? It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, just take some time and do it soon. A journalist chases down the story of Anna Delvey, who convinced New York's elite that she was a German heiress. That's right. She had $60 million in inheritance. And what she wanted to do, her passion, was to meet all the elite in Manhattan and open some social clubs. Well, she scammed a lot of people out of a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And spoiler alert, I'm going to tell you, she's not a rich German heiress. But what a great con artist she really is. So Anna spent 4 years in prison for fraud. She says in her words, trying to move away from this like scammer persona that has been pushed upon me by the prosecution and following the media and by Netflix. Anna. Guess what? Anna's at it again. She's minted 10 NFTs, non-fungible tokens, but Anna's still locked up. She's in a correctional facility under the custody of ICE. And if you buy one of her NFTs, they say, and she says, you get to meet Anna. Listen to this. You not only get to meet her. Now, remember, she is still in a correctional facility, but you get a bundle of personal items. Okay. Her personal items, let's think about this. In the correctional facility, she has a toothbrush. She has a orange jumper. And wow, those stylish shower shoes. Want those. Coming in at number 4, Alexa, ask my dead grandmother to read me a story. Amazon was having one of those big developer conferences this past week where they showcase all their new technologies that the company's working on. And in case you didn't go to the conference, you missed a demonstration video that didn't get a lot of attention, believe it or not. But in this demonstration video, Alexa is reading to a child in the voice of the child's recently deceased grandmother. That's right. Let that sink in just a second. Alexa's voice turns into this child's recently deceased grandmother's voice. Now, the VP showing off the text said that Amazon is trying to make Alexa smarter and more personal. His exact quote was, while AI can't eliminate that pain of loss, AI can definitely make the memories last. Gee, thanks. I've heard that. The deepfake voice only needs 1 minute of audio of the person to actually create the voice. So if Alexa can have your dead relative's voice and read a story, what's next? Okay. Well, you know what it is. A conversation is just right around the corner. So is this a good idea, or is this an idea that kind of creeps you out? I really would like to hear from you. Either tell us in the interactive chat as you're watching the show, if you're a member of the Commando community, or you can go ahead and reach out to me with your opinions over at twitter.com/KimCommando. Is it creepy, or is it a good idea? I'd love to hear your thoughts. And finally, the last thing I want to pass along at number 5, everything is hackable. Yes, even your jacuzzi. Oh, that's why we can't have nice things. Jacuzzi Smart Tub, they have an app, and it does a lot of things. It lets you control the hot tub's temperature, all of its lighting and jets right from your phone. So this way you don't have to go in the house or fumble with the pumps anymore. And as it turns out, it's vulnerable to hackers. That's according to a cyber researcher who calls him or her or themselves Eaton Works. They actually said in a blog, worldwide user data was exposed, which included the first name, last name, and email address of everybody who has signed up for this app. And then they went on to say it'd be trivial to create a script to download all their user information. It's probably and possibly has already been done. So if you are using the Jacuzzi Smart Tub app, you make sure that you are paying attention to this. They went into a whole bunch of more details about how if somebody hacked into the app, they could turn the heat all the way up if they wanted to. They could change the filtration cycles, and they could spam you and scam you and things like that. But the line that actually got my attention in this whole thing was that in a few days, you could have a hot, stinky soup. That's your jacuzzi. So again, if you use the Smart Tub app, change your password now while you're thinking about it, because nobody wants hot, stinky soup in the jacuzzi. And I'll tell you one thing, when they catch the hackers who are downloading all of this customer data, they are going to be in a lot of hot water. I'll tell you that. To know about before you book travel. Got the safest way to buy things. And oh my gosh, I don't know if you've heard, but now Photoshop, remember that big, pricey, expensive program? It's coming to the web. And it's going to be not so big and pricey anymore. It's going to be free. I'm going to tell you what's behind that. And of course, we have all of your phone calls here on the Kim Commando Show. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder that if you ever have a question for me, you can always drop it to me right on the website. Head over to our website. Of course, that's commando.com. And in the upper right-hand corner, there's a link that says email Kim and fill that form out. And then I will read every single email that you send. All right, in just a few moments, how you can rent a pool or boat by the hour and where are the safest places to do that online. But how about we start with Mike in Portland, Oregon. Hello there, Mike.
Hi, Kim.
Welcome.
Nice to talk to you.
You betcha. What's going on?
Well, my wife and I are both foodies, and she's been collecting recipes for decades. And we would like to know if there's an app out there that we could scan recipes into that would then allow us to access the recipes by, say, ingredient or obviously name or whatever.
So
something that we could organize it.
So you guys are both foodies. So give me like a typical dinner. I mean, it's not just like hamburgers on the grill, I bet, right?
Well, we'll do that occasionally when we're out of time and too busy. But yeah, I like to make cream of crab soup, lasagna, and my wife does. We found a recipe that we're going to do every holiday now. It's a stuffed turkey breast stuffed with sausage and spices, and it's just astounding.
Oh, wow. And so instead of cooking just the big turkey that nobody eats the legs and everything like that, just do the breast?
Yeah. Yep. You have the butcher butterfly it.
Oh,
and
nice.
Then you can stuff it.
Wow. Sounds yummy. Okay, so how many different recipes do you have? Piles and piles?
Yeah, piles and piles.
Okay, all right. Are they handwritten and torn out of magazines and newspapers and anything else under the sun?
Some of them out of magazines and newspapers, and handwritten. Not too many. A few.
Okay. All right. Wait. You've got a few ways to do this. Okay. You can use a scanner and then get some OCR software because you're going to need to take that recipe and put it into text because you want to search by ingredients, you said, and maybe how long it takes to prepare and things along that nature. You can do it that way, and then you can use a program like Master Cook and then import those scans and also the texts into Master Cook and where you'd have like a virtual cookbook, okay? That's the hard way.
Cool.
Okay, that's the hard way though, okay?
Okay.
There's an app and a program called Big Oven. It's been around forever. Okay, and
Big Oven.
Yes, mm-hmm. And it has 300,000 different recipes. But they have something that's really unique. It's called Recipe Scan. And when you sign up for Big Oven, you get something called credits. I know it gets kind of convoluted, but I'll tell you what that means in a second. And you can buy certain credits to do certain things. And that's the way that the app has, and the program has existed for, probably 15, 20 years. But the recipe scan is interesting because you scan the recipe and then about 2 or 3 days later, you get a note back that says, okay, your recipe has been scanned. And the whole idea is that when you scan the recipe is that instead of just AI or a computer doing it, an actual person a human being will look at that recipe and say, okay, this is the title of it. These are the ingredients. These are the directions. Okay. When you sign up, you get like 25 credits. Each credit is about 50 cents. And they charge you about 50 cents in order to do each and every scan. So it can get pretty pricey if you've got a lot of piles. Okay.
Yeah.
The third option is a software program. Again, it's been around for a long time. It's called Cookin'. And I'll give you links to all of these. And with Cookin', and I'm going to show you a video about how it works, is that you scan the recipe using your scanner, or you use your phone, which is actually which is easier than using a flatbed scanner. So you're going to use your phone, take a picture of it. And then you're going to highlight that this is the title of the recipe, these are the ingredients, and these are the directions. And then this software will put it into a format. But what I like about that one too, and I guess Big Oven does the same thing, is that you also are able to save the the image as well with the recipe. So if you're like it was in grandma's handwritings, or if your wife made some notes on it, or whatever it may be, is that you still have everything there. So there are different programs made for different uses, I guess you say, for how many that you have. And so I'm going to put a link to Master Cook Big Oven and also this Cookin'. But I will tell you that the Cookin' reviews, people are like, I don't know if it really works. And other people are like, yeah, it does work. So, definitely want to look at the trial versions of all of these before you go ahead and pay. But if you're looking for the most comprehensive, that's going to be the Big Oven, because, like I said, it will scan it and send it out to a human being. But it also comes with a big price tag if you've got a lot. But again, you do get like 25 credits when you sign up and you actually download and start using the program. So, Mike, thank you for the call today. And also thanks for that idea about turkey. I'm going to have to remember that. Hey, when your car breaks down, you can count on CarShield to help save you from expensive repairs. Go to carshield.com/Kim or call 800-391-8888 to save 10% on your plan. Once again, that's carshield.com/Kim. All right, it's summer and it's water time, and just like you can book vacation rentals online, you can book a boat. That's right. You can get a captain and crew at getmyboat.com. They have over 150,000 listings. I found for $400 an hour in San Diego, a nice 50-foot boat. And then for swimming pools and hourly rentals, there's swimply.com. I found this gorgeous pool in San Antonio for up to 20 guests, $45 an hour. Yes, get me in the pool. All right, we got links to those as well over at commando.com. You want to stay right where you are. We have more of your phone calls coming up. You don't want to miss. All right, before we go back to all of your great phone calls and some more tips, and we have our DIY security tip just moments away about some airline scams and flight scams to watch out for, let's talk about Adobe Photoshop. Here's what's happening. Adobe Photoshop users are aging out, meaning that the folks who want to learn and use Photoshop, they're not growing as the people who use Photoshop are getting older. And in addition to that, Photoshop has just a ton of competition. I mean, Canva being the biggest. And it's so much easier to use than Adobe Photoshop. And also, it's not super expensive. But now, you'll be able to use a web version of Photoshop for free. Yes, you heard me say for free. You don't need to pay a monthly subscription. You just fire up the website, start creating, sharing, collaborating. I mean, will it work? It's hard to say. Photoshop is still harder than a lot of the free options out there because you have like GIMP, Pixel Editor, Paint.net, Photo Pro, Krita. I mean, these are some really worthy contenders. And so if you've ever wanted to use Photoshop and you're like, oh man, I used to have it, but I don't want to buy it anymore, now you can go ahead and use it for free. We do have a link over at commando.com, of course. All right, let's see. Jackie in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Hi there, Janice. I said Jackie,
Hi,
but I meant to say Janice. You got it.
That's okay. My parents were originally going to name me Jackie.
Oh, so. See that? You know what? I was having this telepathic moment. I mean, okay, so what is it that you want to talk to me about? Let me see, Janice. Packages. Well, I see packages. Yes. Okay.
I've actually had nightmares about packages.
Oh, no.
About 6 weeks, well, actually about 2 months ago, one of my credit cards had a fraudulent charge on it. And, their companies are pretty good about catching those. And they did and canceled the card and issued a new one. That same day, I got phone calls from different companies wanting clarification on orders I'd placed.
Okay.
They called me on my home phone, and, we realized that they weren't actual orders I'd placed. And so we canceled those. And I was a little concerned. But then, I thought, well, maybe this is all done. And so then about 2 weeks later, I started getting packages delivered to my house. And over the last 6 weeks, I've had 22 different packages sent to me of items that I have not ordered.
And what's the order in the packages?
What's in the packages?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Well, anything from a pair of sunglasses from Australia,
okay,
which were quite nice, up to one day I had a 5-gallon pail of oil delivered to my front door.
Oh, gosh, okay.
It's mostly useless stuff, And initially, I tried to call the companies and return them. And I did return 2 items that were quite expensive that came initially. But, most of the companies, for items that weren't that expensive just said,
keep it.
Don't bother.
But you're not being,
I understand,
but you're not being charged for any of this.
No, I'm not being charged.
Okay.
And it's usually,
okay. So let me tell you what's going on, Janice. Okay. It's called a brushing scam. Okay. And so
I've heard of that.
So what they're doing is that they're trying to figure out a way to post more positive reviews online. And, scammers are so clever, Janice, right? I mean, you have to be smart to pull something off most of the time. And so what they've figured out is that if they can use a fake account to place orders to some random person to an address they find online, that they can go online then using that fake account and then leave a glowing review of whatever it is. Okay.
Yeah.
So somewhere in some forum is your name and address is a place like, hey, if you're looking to send something to somebody so that you can post a positive review, this is it. There's nothing happening to you. There's nobody in your credit file. They're really just using your name and address as a way for them to get positive reviews.
They're not using my name though, and they are not using the city I live in.
So how are they getting the stuff to you?
Well, most of the time the packages go to San Francisco.
And then are they redirected to you?
They're redirected to me.
Okay. Yeah, this is just a classic brushing scam. This is all that it is. I mean, there's nobody that's, like I said, getting in your credit card or credit file. They're just using your name and address so that this way they can figure out a way to get more positive reviews and to write reviews of different products. And like you said, you got this expensive pair of sunglasses. I mean, you could send it back to the manufacturer if you wanted, and to alert them in the customer service department that you think that this is probably going on, because these websites, most likely Amazon, I'm sure where it is that they will clamp down on these fake reviews because it's been such a problem. Okay. Because the way that the fake reviews work is that it used to be you could just type in any review like, oh man, this is the best thing I've ever seen to make my thighs thinner and to make me grow more hair like never before. And I feel like I'm 18 years old again. Okay. But then Amazon said, oh, well, maybe this is a problem because anybody can post a review. But now you have to have a verified account, a verified purchaser, so to speak. And so that's why when you see Amazon, it says verified purchaser, and you still may see that positive review, but it may not necessarily be a real review, but it's a verified purchased review. So if you want to be a good internet citizen, wherever these orders are coming from, you let them know, I think this is part of a brushing scam, and then that company will figure out how to lock them down. Janice, thank you so much for your call, and lucky you got a 5-gallon drum of oil. Okay, I'd take the sunglasses. All right, it's time now for our DIY security tip. And you may have heard about some new scary malware, Chrome Loader, that takes over your browser, sends you to fake websites. Even worse, it can open the door for hackers to steal usernames, passwords, or even other data stored in your browser. That's why I use and I recommend Total AV's industry-leading security suite. Not only do you get protection from the latest malware threats, but its AI-driven Web Shield browser extension blocks dangerous websites like the ones Chrome Loader sends to you automatically. Plus, with Total AV, protection covers up to 5 of your or your loved one devices under a single plan. So whether you're a Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android device, whatever you're using, you just install the easy-to-use app, and that's it. You're protected. Now, I've negotiated an exclusive introductory discount just for you. Right now, you get the first year Total AV for only $19, but you have to go to protectwithkim.com. That's over 85% off the regular annual price. Head to protectwithkim.com today. That's protectwithkim.com. All right, this week, it's all about 5 flight and airline scams that you need to know about before you book travel. And it stems from the fact that I was talking to my son Ian, and one of his friends got scammed because he was buying an airline ticket for his girlfriend, and then As he was buying it, he clicked another link, and then when he clicked the other link inside of the kayak website, took him to someplace else, and then he got scammed. And I said, you know what? So many people are now booking travel because we're all tired of being cooped up since this whole pandemic hit, right? That you are trying to figure out the easiest and the best way and the cheapest way, and everything's getting booked, and you're moving very quickly. And that's what I want you to do. Number one is slow down, especially when you're has anything to do with booking travel online. So, like, number one on our list is, like, say you miss your flight. Your flight gets canceled. That's happening all over. So you find what you think is the airline's official website. You go to the customer service section, you call them up, and then you're asked for your payment information, personal information to rebook the flight. You fork over the cash. You try to confirm your booking. But when you get to the airport or when you try to actually get your ticket, there's no ticket. You know what you did? You just went to a bogus website. Number two on our list is flight and airline scams often try to confirm your information. That's right. They're going to call you to verify things. Okay. United Airlines, anybody else? Let me tell you, they ain't going to call you. Or maybe you get a weird confirmation email. That's another red flag to look at. You book a flight, you receive a confirmation email. So far, so good. But there's no ticket attached. Yeah. Okay. That's another bogus one. And if you see ads on social media offering you free airline tickets, again, nothing's free in this world. Okay, stop thinking that you're just the lucky one on the entire internet. And of course, if you ever get emails or texts about bargains, ticket giveaways, gift cards, bonus flight hours, that's also a big red flag. So if you or your loved ones are about ready to book any travel, what I'd like you to do is to share this with them so that this way they know that, all things on the internet just aren't good. Yes, I know some people believe that. That's actually a statistic. 6% rather, of everybody on the internet 6% believe every single thing that they see online. Ooh, isn't that scary? Anyway, for links to these travel scams, look no further than the official homepage of the Kim Komando Show. That's Komando.com, of course. And then there at the top, hit the link that says Kim Show. All right, still to come this hour, the safest way to buy things. We have more of your phone calls you don't want to miss. All right, we have a special free ebook for you that I want to make sure that you guys and gals know to go get it. If you go to komando.com/free guide, we put up a free guide for Windows users and for Mac users. And again, it's just loaded with just the tips and tricks and secrets that you can use immediately. So whether you've been using Windows or Mac for a long time or you're just getting started, head over to komando.com/free guide. Once again, that's komando.com/free guide. All right, let's see. How about Craig in Spearfish, South Dakota? I hear that's a lovely part of the country. I've never been there. Craig, how are you?
Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks for having me on. It is beautiful up here. I was born up here. Every time I come up here, I never want to go home.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's when you know that you're truly home. So how can I help you? What's been going on?
Well, I've had a website that I started in 2015 sometime, and then I've been locked off. It got hacked, and they changed the password on me. So I haven't been able to log on or post since it'll be 3 years in September. And I've tried. It's a free site on WordPress, and I've tried to contact them, and I just have not been able to get through. And my hands have been tied. It's unpolished. It's a bunch of poetry I put on there, and
okay.
I haven't been able to polish it up, and it's got typos in it, so it's not my perfect work yet.
So is WordPress the hosting company, or who's hosting, or did you just make a way?
I think if you look it up, it'll be at WordPress.
Okay.
The website at WordPress, but I'm really not sure about the hosting. My tech skills are that of the caveman, pretty much.
No, you know how to use a smartphone because you called me, so you're okay.
Well, a little bit, yeah. I'm getting better, but I'm not getting finer as like wine, I guess. I'm not a slow learner, but I just got a bunch of things in mind.
Oh no, I understand. I do understand. Okay. Well, how many times have you tried? I mean, WordPress. Have you gotten in through the customer service?
Oh, I've emailed them probably. This is back. I kind of gave up on it after a while. It was still up and it was unpolished, so I just put disclaimers in to people that I had looked at it or what have you.
Okay, all right. So we need to.
I must have sent them 30 emails.
Yeah, it's unfortunate when this happens because there's no real magical wand I can give you to say go do this, other than to keep pounding on them and to see if there's something that you can do to get their attention. Now, quite often when we call, however, is that we can maybe get their attention because they're afraid of some bad publicity. And so what I can do, Craig, is we're going to get your information about where the site's located and give us the address and all that other good stuff. And then we'll, as a random act of kindness for every once in a while, what we do is we actually come down and see if we can help you out one-on-one. And this is really what you need. And we do this from time to time here on the Kim Komando Show. So we're going to pass along Craig's information to one of our IT geniuses, probably John, because John is so good at this. And we're going to figure out how to get your website back. I'll tell you, sometimes it's just not easy. It was, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months ago now that John helped a listener to get a website back because the hosting company wasn't responding and they had gone out of business, and the guy wasn't able to get in there. And I think it took John like almost 6 weeks to figure out how to get the site back, and then in addition to that, transferring it over to a new hosting company. So sometimes it takes a long time. So if you're in that situation, don't feel frustrated by the time and the latency that it does take. So Craig, hold on the line so we can get all that information for you. And let's see, we have Amanda in Cincinnati, Ohio. Hello there, Amanda.
Hi, thank you so much.
You betcha. What's going on? How can I help you?
Oh, all right. So someone had stole my identification and started trying to get a bunch of credit cards in my name.
Okay.
And I went through all the hoops and did a credit freeze and did all that. The only piece of information I have that is different is an email address. So I guess my question is 2 parts. One, is there a way to get some of my information off of all those, like been verified and, those people finder websites?
Mm-hmm.
And also, is there a way to track someone using that email?
First, let's talk about getting yourself out of the people finder sites, because that's very, very difficult. It is.
Okay.
Because there are so many up. There are so many, Amanda, that every Tuesday at Commando.com, we call it Opt-Out Tuesday. So if you go to Commando.com on Tuesday, we tell you yet another website to get out of, whether it's been verified or US Search or People Search or Zaba Search or Family Tree Now or whatever it may be. And it's almost like whack-a-mole. It seems like, and they don't make it easy to get your information out of these, I don't want to say public databases because you have to pay to do it. And then when you go to try to opt out, they're going to slam up some ads and say, oh, here, click here. And then it's just a paid ad where they're trying to get more money from you. Or it's another scam that they act. It's just like, and so I always tell people, if you're going to opt out, just make sure that you really read the screen, and it shouldn't cost you anything to get your information out of these people search databases, right? And so that's the first thing is I think you should do all that. And I'm glad that you have a credit freeze and you're using the credit monitoring service, especially, once that happens, it can become really horrible after a period of time. Michael, who used to be here with the show, is that he actually had somebody trying to take a mortgage out in his name. And he's like, whoa, dude, what was that? So, you do need to keep tabs on it. Now, as far as figuring out where and how when somebody's using an email address of yours, is it like a Gmail account or? Yeah.
It's Outlook, and it's so one of the companies that they tried to get a credit under my name, they give me back the information that was put on the application, and a lot of times I guess they use a lot of your old information. But the only thing that was different was the email address. So and I'm thinking if that's
So if this is no, that's okay. I'm just running into a time crunch right here, but. Is that with Outlook, is that if they are continuing to use that address, is that you can actually request that Outlook, you tell them in the tech support area that somebody's misusing my email address, and then they're going to do everything they can to shut that down. If you need any help afterwards, Amanda, please let me know. But again, every Tuesday, check it out at Commando.com because it is officially Opt-Out Tuesday. Amanda, thank you for your call. Still to come, some safe ways to buy things you don't want to miss here on the Kim Komando Show. Probably the easiest and the safest way for you to start buying things, and don't worry about skimmers and shimmers, is start using Apple Wallet and Google Pay. If you haven't already set those up, we've got the step-by-step instructions over on the website. I'll tell you, it's super convenient. You just tap your phone on the reader, and then the information is exchanged. They don't even get your credit card number, and then you have to worry about scammers and shammers and scammers and thieves. Stay right where you are. We have another hour coming up here on the Westar Multimedia Network. Hey, thanks for listening to Kim Commando today. So reach over and give me a nice 5-star review. Yes, thank you. And thanks for listening.